Today in class, we talked about horizontal, vertical, and diagonal lines. Using line, we are going to paint and collage a fall landscape. The first thing you're going to need is a piece of paper. On that paper, I would like you to write your name. Once your name is on your paper, you will be using tempera paint cakes and water to paint horizontal lines at the bottom. The green grass goes first. Then, once you're done painting the green grass, go to the top of the paper and paint the blue sky. Once it's done, it needs to be wet. Take a paper towel and dot up some of the paint. That will make the paint look like clouds. Once our painting is dry, we will be ready to add elements of collage. In the corner of the room, there is tissue paper and scrap paper and yellow paper and white paper. There's scraps from our previous projects. We're going to go to the corner of the room, tables at a time, and you can pick scraps for your trees and scraps for the clouds and a sun. When you pick the color of scrap that you want, you are going to take this template and trace on top of it, just like you see here. Take another template, a larger one. You want different shapes, so I'm going to pick a larger oval and a smaller oval. And then I'm going to pick another shape that maybe could be a medium-sized tree. So these are all the tree colors, and they remind me of fall because they are mixed with oranges and reds, and some are green. So pick the colors you want to use for your collage. Take the third template. This is on tissue paper. You have to be careful on tissue paper because it rips easily. And when you cut tissue paper, make sure that you hold toward the center and go around very gently. Now that you're done, you have your three trees. You probably want to get a sun and clouds as well. Take your paper and position them where you think you want them to go. That looks about right. So I'm going to have two trees on one side and one tree on the other. Now before I glue, I'm going to add a sun. I'll put it right there. And then I'm going to take some white paper and cut clouds. And I'm going to overlap them on top of the sun. Now once I have everything the way that I want it to look, I can move things around. I haven't glued anything down yet. I get it to where I want it to be. Then with a glue stick, I go around and around and around and around the edges of that tree. Now, I got some on my paper. It's okay. I'm just going to smudge it out with my finger, and I'll do the rest on a table. Press down firmly and go on the back of the tissue. Be very careful with tissue. You want to hold that in your hand when you're gluing tissue down. You also want to glue on the top. Now, it's okay because it's going to dry before we draw on top of it. The clouds too, you want to glue on the back and on the front. It's okay if it looks purple, it dries clear. Flip it over and glue again. Now flip the whole thing over and I want you to rub it like a puppy dog, pet it like a puppy to make sure things are all stuck on nice and tight. If you have edges that are coming up, you can take a little squeeze bottle of glue and glue those edges down or glue stick it again with another glue stick. So I'm just checking on the edges to see with a normal bottle of glue. Now that it's dried, you see how all that glue has disappeared. We are ready to add lines. The first line I'm adding is a vertical line. I'm going to go to the other tree and add a vertical line. This is done with a gold Sharpie. The last tree, be careful, it's tissue paper, so it's a little different than the scrap paper. You want to add another vertical line. Go inside the tree and add diagonal lines. You'll need to do this to each tree. If you want to add some circles around to look like fruit or just a nice design, you can. The final touch, I'm going to cut out some tissue paper to collage leaves that have been fallen from the trees. Now, I could have done this when I was collaging everything, but if you forgot to do that, you can also add those leaves right now at this part. Go ahead and add some of those fall leaves. That adds a little extra touch to your fall collage landscape. Once you have that stuck on, it is ready to go.